Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, where we educate, motivate, and liberate you through enlightening dialogues, empowering music, and evolving content. I know everyone's doing well, and everything is unfolding perfectly. It just is. Even if we can't see it, everything is unfolding perfectly, exactly how it should. It's when we put that resistance is when things go wrong up here and in the physical. I'm rambling now, but I'm excited. I'm excited yet again because my next guest is a guardian of the authentic self. She helps individuals, recognize and embody their deepest truth, embracing the beauty and complexity of their mind, body, and soul. And there's just so much more. I mean, I'll just throw something in there. She's a best-selling author as well. So you just know I could just keep going. But we're going to have some of that come out. Without further ado, allow me to introduce to you Jordana Winston. How are you doing today, Jordana?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I would just like to say before I go any further that I am a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to decide, to choose, to spend just a moment of your time in the history of your life, your timeline, I just want to extend my sincerest gratitude to you. Thank you very much for being here at this present moment with me. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I feel the same way, and it's destiny, fate. Time
Abs-
brings people together in time and space, and you see what happens.
a- Absolutely. And prior to us going live here, Jordana, everyone was just talking to sharing with me about synchronicity, and I just vibed with it right away. I resonated with it right away. It's just so amazing, and so it just feels so much energy and just I don't know how to explain it when someone's just from just a couple of words, you just vibe along their frequency. And she was telling me about, just how we connected. I elaborated on it. It was like you drew me to into your experience, and it's not a surprise at all. I'm thankful and it's amazing and it tickles me, but not at all surprised. Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, let's just get into it. I'm looking at your information here, and I'm going to tap into these signature topics. No, before I tap into this, tell me about a bit about you being a best-selling author. How did that happen? Name of the book? Where can we find it? Just give us a little bit of backstory, front story, middle story on this best-selling author that you are now.
Totally the same kind of thing. Right place, right time, and just reached out to the person. And so I have the book right here. Actually, I can show you.
Oh, good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Radical Freedom.
Radical
So
Freedom. Before you even talk
yeah,
about it, Radical Freedom. Now that's on Amazon, right?
yes, it
And
is.
that's by you, Jordana Winston.
Well, not completely by
Okay.
me.
Okay.
It's my wonderful, one of my wonderful mentors has put this book series together,
Okay.
Jessica Hughes, and she brings together all of these people. So everyone's bringing their magic, their experience, their knowledge into this book. So we each get a chapter and we all talk about what radical freedom means to us
Oh,
and
wow.
what our experience has been with it. It's really amazing. It's such a
Radical
great
freedom.
experience.
So it's various perspectives of what radical freedom means to each person.
Hmm.
Okay, amazing. And
Yeah.
when was that book released?
This one came out in August of this last year.
Oh, wow, amazing. Amazon. Okay. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
check us out. It's
Yeah, let me see it
amazing.
one more time, please.
Absolutely. And there's
Yes.
lots more to come. So,
Okay, radical freedom. Let go of who you were and set your creative soul free. Powerful. I can feel that already.
yeah. And, you know, you can get in on this if you're interested. We can talk about that.
We'll talk about it because With me not already being an author, I'm going against, and I just have to. I'm gonna be transparent. I'm going against what my intuition is already telling me. I don't know why. In my perspective, I think I'm just pushing back. What's inevitable, but I
Would you say
I
you're resisting it?
excuse me.
Would you say you're resisting it?
A bit. It's a bit, and I don't really want to use the word scary because I've evolved past fear of that. But just, I think I'm holding myself to such a high standard on what I'll write about instead of just getting busy and doing it. And it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
There's so many various subjects that I could do it on or whatever, or something like you already have the subject mapped out and incorporating with other people and then just go from there. That would probably be a soft start for me. So I think that might be something that I will talk to you
Yeah,
about.
you know, and you asked how this came about, and how it really came about was I put a stack of books on my vision board because I'd also always wanted to be an author. And so
Mm,
I threw it on there last year, not really thinking about it at all, and then just kind of forgot about it. And then here comes this opportunity, and
absolutely.
so it's just, woven into the stars already. So I had to do it.
Absolutely. And when you set your intentions, and I listened to a woman by the name of Esther Hicks and Abraham Hicks, and just whatever
Yeah.
vibration you're on, and we get in our own way. That's the only so you got out of your own way. You set the intention, and you just forgot about it. Not that it wasn't important, but the universe took hold and brought forth the bridges of incidences to take you to where you needed to go. Now that was it, and that's amazing.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you can't keep checking the order, It's like
Right,
you make the order, you put it out there. You can't be like, where is it? How's it going to come?
right.
What package is it going to be in? You just know it's coming and prepare yourself and peel away your resistance,
That, that's
anything
ex-
that's keeping you.
That's exactly what Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks says. Don't worry about the how, the where. Just know you have these intentions because they come natural to you, and you should be able to fulfill all your intentions. And as long as they're healthy intentions and they're not harming anyone else, but you should be able to fulfill your purpose. Everyone is meant to live that way, and it's just we get in our own ways, and we doubt,
Yeah.
and like you said, we keep checking how and worry, and then we repel what's coming to us, and we're doing it ourselves. And then oftentimes, and this is not to talk down on anyone because I've been there too, then we'll put a blame on the devil, or God doesn't want me to have this. No, he wants you to have, or it whatever name that you give the universe,
Hmm.
intelligence, whatever wants you to have what you desire. You have those are those are intuitive desires. So why wouldn't that be for you?
Exactly.
So that's amazing. So you are already just a few minutes into the show, a reflection and an example of how we draw things to ourselves, and that's absolutely amazing. And you haven't even really gotten started yet. See, I told you. I already said. I said watch. So yes,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So we'll look out for that book. Go on Amazon and check that out. And yes, I'll look up that book myself and find the link to it, and incorporate it into the description of this segment once it's uploaded. So
Awesome.
people can just
Awesome.
click it, check out the book, do the
Yeah.
read up on it a little bit. But back to what I was saying earlier, getting into your signature topic. So because I'm not even going to say that, but I'm going to say this: you're prepared because you have these signature topics here, so it means you've already been over them already. So authentic abundance. Can you give us a little bit about what that means, eh, eh, uh, to you, and how you incorporate that into what it is you do?
Definitely. So the way I feel about abundance is like you can have all of the money and all the material items and not feel abundant at all.
Mm,
Um,
Agree.
I've spent time living on the street as a teenager, and some of those times, even though I had absolutely nothing, I felt the most abundant because I wasn't tied down with worry, and I wasn't tied down with concern about, where things were coming from or where things were going or paying bills and like all of the things that sort of keep us attached to stuff. You just have to be in this like deep faith that everything is going to always work out for you. So that really taught me a lot about feeling abundant, even when everyone else would be like, wow, you're really not abundant at
Right,
all. But
right,
like, it's a spirit thing, right? Because I've had lots of money and not felt abundant. And
right.
so that's what it really means to me, is just abundance that is abundant wherever you are, whatever environment you're in. It's kind of like your song, the way you're like, I'm smiling. I don't have to have a reason to smile, right? I don't have to have a reason to feel abundant. I'm abundant because that's my inherent state. That's the state of the universe, and I am part of that. So
Wow. You know what? You just stunned me right there. You actually listened to my song.
I did listen to your song.
Okay,
It's
thank
great.
you. I appreciate that. Not to take the highlight off of what you were saying, because yes, I'm totally listening. Yes, abundance. What I'm gathering from you, is abundance is yeah, is feeling abundant no matter what. It doesn't take any outside things outside of you to make you feel abundant. And I think, in my perspective, from what I've witnessed, and including myself at times before, that we attach our identities and our happiness to these outside situations
Mhm.
and monetary value and whatnot, and that right there is fleeting. Not saying these things can't bring you, in my perspective, temporary joy, because they can. But if you really don't have that inner abundance, like you were saying, doesn't matter. You'll go back to,
Yeah.
now you'll be looking for the next thing. Okay, I already have this. Okay, I'm cool. I have this. So now I need that. Now I need this. Now I need that. And then you're going to depend on what you have acquired, as a means to your happiness. And from my experience, no, that's not real, authentic,
Right.
sustainable happiness. Yes. So I agree
Yeah.
with you
It's an
totally.
illusion. And yeah, it has nothing to do with our self-worth. And that's what not only do we attach our identity to it, but we attach our self-worth to it. Like if I don't have X, Y, and Z, I'm not worthy.
Right.
We were born worthy. We're worthy because we are. We're just inherently worthy.
We
So,
just are. And unfortunately, not to cut you off, but unfortunately, especially in this Western culture, that's how people look at other people too. If they don't have a certain thing, they want to see what you have, or what brand of clothing you have on. And if you don't, then that determines the level of respect they give you, based on what you have, and how much is in your bank account. And unless you're dressed like a monk or a shaman or something like that, they're going to look at you like you must be a failure then. And what they probably don't know many a times is that that person has more, like you said, when you were on the streets, more inner peace and harmony and balance than they do. Because with
yes.
more things, I think and I'm not saying that we shouldn't have abundance materially as well. But if that's all you have, you're going to be out of balance no matter what.
Right.
That's what I've come to realize.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay. Signature topics. Jordana Winston. Mind, body, and soul connection. What's that?
You can't have abundance, you can't have health in one area if you don't have it in the other. Everything has to be working in harmony with each other. Ideally, that's what we work towards, right? That's unification. And it all plays a part. The mind is obviously very important, but the mind is going to play all kinds of tricks on you. Supporting the body and the nervous system and the health of the body helps support a healthy mind. And then doing the purification of the soul helps you support the entire system holistically. So they all have to go together. Like you can't just like I'm going to fix my brain or I'm going to fix my body and or or I'm just going to pray.
Right.
It's all it's all has to be together. It all works together. Your body is there to support your brain and your spirit is there to connect you to everything and keep you as the container and the conduit. But I just have seen people try to do, I've done it, I'll work out and I'll be happy, but it just doesn't work that way. It all has to flow together and be holistic.
That's amazing. And I want to double down on that. Um, yes, that is important. And I've learned that in my journey as well, is that, you focus too much on one thing and you're out of balance somewhere else. And you're going to have that feeling or that voice inside that lets you know, and oftentimes we're fighting to attach, like we mentioned earlier, our identity to a certain thing or a certain area, and we're lacking in other areas. We're just not going to be in harmony with ourselves. We're not going to be in balance. Like you said, you can work out and have this super chiseled body that everybody wants, but that's all you do, and you don't have balance within your balanced emotions, balance, I don't know, in other areas, then it's something going to definitely be missing. And you're going, yes, it's not going to, things aren't going to flow the way they should flow. If in my perspective, I mean, maybe there's someone out there that's totally one-sided in their life and they feel like they are balanced. Who am I to tell them that they're not? But
Right. Everybody
yes,
has to come to their own truth. I mean,
abs- absolutely. I like that. Yep, your own truth.
yeah,
Absolutely.
we have billions of people in the world and they each get to have their own. And really, we start running into a lot of problems when we start telling people what their truth is.
There
And,
you go.
you
That
know,
right there is very powerful. And even though you said it like really calmly and, you know, that is a very powerful statement that when we, and often in society, from my perspective, again, I see it happen and I've done it too. Tell people what
yeah.
their truth should be or what the truth is. It's like, wait a minute, that's not their truth. And that's all that really matters in their paradigm is what their truth is, their energy field, if that's truth for them and that's in harmony and keeping them in balance, that's their truth then. It may not be yours, but it's theirs. And yes, all I feel like that I'm doing, even here on this podcast, is just sharing what resonates with me. And meaning that everything that I say or everything that I may share or get from someone else, it doesn't mean that I may or may not resonate with everything. But I have learned, like this quote that I heard from the great martial artist Bruce Lee. He said, you know, just take from everything, from everyone, what's useful, what you feel is useful at that time, and discard what is
Hmm.
not. Simple. And just discard what is
Yeah.
not. Like that's not
Yeah.
resonating with you at that time, then don't throw the whole apple away because it has a brown spot. And I equate that with people because they said something that you didn't resonate or didn't like. Wait a minute, but yeah. Even,
Cancel
even oh, go
them.
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Just be done with them. Like,
Be done with them. Because they said one thing. Oh, he had me until he said
yeah,
that. I'm done.
yeah,
Now everything valuable that I got from him, I'm throwing it away.
yeah.
So amazing.
Polarity is important.
Polarity. Yes. Tell us give us the meaning of polarity.
Well, what it means to me is, holding both. Like you have to have the positive and the negative end of the battery, or the battery doesn't work, right? And we tend to try to label everything as good or bad, or just in real absolutes, black and white thinking, right? But polarity means holding it all, like being the ability to have both. Like I can be this and that. Like, so we want to banish a part of ourselves because we have a mean side. Or I used to do this a lot. I'd be like, push a part of myself away because I thought it was unacceptable. But really, I need all the parts of myself at all times, not using them at all times, but in some circumstances, you need to be the mean person. You need to
Mhm.
have that standing up for yourself. You need to be able to have the polarity within yourself where you can be both. You can be soft and hard. You can be, aggressive and passive. You can be compassionate and you can have, you know, uh, you can have like the claw of a demon where you can defend yourself
Right.
because every circumstance is going to need a different part of yourself. So if you're so busy rejecting one side, you're not empowered to use all facets of yourself.
Absolutely. That connects so well with even what I said in regard to listening to someone. You don't accept all that, and get absorb the nutrients and discard what you feel is not. And and I like what you said about yourself. Basically, you're embracing yourself in its entirety, and that's important because oftentimes from my perspective, we are really hard on ourselves when we mess up or and
Mhm.
let that be just a vantage point. Okay, where you messed up, now observe that and be better. you know Even if you mess up 1,000 times, that's what I'm learning to do. If I feel like I've
Yeah.
messed up, I could have handled that better. Stop beating myself up and learn, and maybe self-reflect and kind of visualize and go over how you could have handled that better. And there you go. You would, if you didn't have, an example, then you wouldn't. I feel like that our purpose in life, no matter what, is to continue to grow and expand. Now, some people might not agree with that. Some people are just, I am the way I am and I'm staying here. Okay. But I really think
Mhm.
if you just watch the universe, if you just watch nature, we're meant to evolve, to grow, to change, to expand. And that's just how it is. And when we go against that, then I think we cut ourselves off from a lot. But
Mhm.
just what you said is very powerful to me again. And I like using that word powerful, but I don't just throw it around. I say I attach it to what I feel is just very resonates with me and is growth oriented by saying and embracing. Basically, we need, people are scared of the dark, but we need it, right? So
Mhm.
we need dark, we need light, we need
Right.
positive, we need
Right.
negative. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't know how would you tell the difference?
Yep,
Everything would just be beige. You'd have there's no way to discern then if everything is just kind of a mush of
absolutely.
blandness.
Absolutely. And even with happiness and sadness, even though, we don't really want sadness, but that's how we grow. We grow from things that are adverse in our experience. You really don't grow from, I'm not saying that, hey, just give me all this adversity, but you know what? I have read books, and I can't recall right now, where the author had evolved to a certain place. I mean, that he was actually asking for more adversities because he saw how extraordinary each adversity was making him. So I forgot which book that was, but
Awesome.
I was
That's
like,
awesome that you shared
whoa,
that.
I haven't
That's helpful to
evolved
know.
that far yet, but I can understand. Now, at least it doesn't sound like a foreign language to me hearing that,
Hmm.
because I understand where he was coming from. Yeah, so that's amazing.
It's cool that you bring that up because it's been a topic of conversation in the past couple of days. Just like even just with myself, like, okay, how does this make me? How do I get to grow out of this? This is challenging. It kind of feels shitty, but like,
Hmm.
I get to grow. How do I get to grow?
And
So.
see, the fact that you're asking yourself that question, in my perspectives, speaks growth in itself for you just asking yourself that. Because especially earlier in life when things happen, all I knew was just to focus on it and complain. I never knew to ask that question of how can I grow from this or change this negative into a lesson or a positive. So just you saying that is again an example to not only myself, but whoever may be listening to this for the first time, or has been watching the podcast for however long. That's an example and an affirmation as we go through things in life, things that are maybe uncomfortable or things that we just don't like, that we can shift, have that perspective shift, that mindset shift, and say, hey, how can I grow from this? And that's amazing. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's alchemy. It's
Yes.
transmutation, you know? You're
Yes.
turning it into something good for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So while we're here, and I just want to make sure I get this before we conclude the segment, because we're down to about 7 more minutes. But while we're here, is there any links that you can share us with us audibly for people to find you and what you do, a website that you can share with us for our audible listeners?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a special gift for your listeners. So
Oh,
if you go
okay.
to
Okay.
Jordana
Gifts. We
Winston,
love gifts.
JordanaWinston.com/enlightened, there's a gift there for your listeners. And they can go
Okay. Can
check
you
it out.
repeat that website again? One more time.
JordanaWinston.com/enlightened
Slash enlighten.
forward.
Special gift. Check it
Special
out,
gift.
everybody. Get that gift.
Special gift for special people.
Absolutely amazing, and just giving to me is exciting, if not more than receiving. I love receiving, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to put that out in the universe that I don't. But I love to give too. And
Yeah,
that's a big reason that I do this podcast, to give. It feeds my soul, and to be able to, just with this amazing technology, to be able to give and possibly assist, help, cultivate something good in someone else out there that may listen and relate. So that's absolutely amazing.
that's beautiful. That's really inspiring to me,
Absolutely.
even like to
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
give in that way.
Yes. I see. I mentioned, Jordana, that prior to this segment that we were just going to just have a talk, like a coffee table conversation, and it was just going to take its own authentic direction, and no dead air, no nothing. Just we're just speaking and vibing together with one another, and it's amazing. So you know what? We got a little bit more time, so I'm going to ask you this: what does breaking free from illusion mean to you?
I still am working on this one. I'm still working on all these
Okay,
things.
give us the working on it half finished version.
Everything is an illusion. Everything is an illusion.
Okay.
That's what it is. Everything that you become attached to, just everything is an illusion. I've been reading a course in miracles over the
Mm,
past 60 days. That's about how far I am right now. And it really just demonstrates that on an even deeper level, that just everything that we look at it's just energy.
mm,
It's some a little bit more solidified than others, but everything is really an illusion. And when you see things from that perspective, you become more focused on unification, being one with everything, understanding that like your energy is part of all the energy, and
mm. Yes.
things take on a different hue. They don't have to be so we don't have to attach to things so much because they're so temporary.
Right. That's been a big topic with me within this past year, is really focusing on that non-attachment, and not to get it confused with not caring or being cold, or
Hmm.
being insensitive, but just not allowing the attachment to whatever it might be, even other people that you love, to the point where you lose yourself, or get yourself out of harmony and balance. But just to know that no matter what is going on, and I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to say that just sit there and just, oh, it doesn't matter. We all have our intellect and everything to be a part of things and whatnot. But just to know, if you keep that mindset, that everything is unfolding the way it is, even it's supposed to be, even if it doesn't seem like it at that moment. Things will even come back around at the right time and mend themselves or whatever, and or maybe not. I can't speak for everyone's situation, but I'm just learning that, and just to be a non-attached and really learn the essence of what that means. Because for, like I said, for the longest time, I was treating non-attached when I would hear that word and embodying that as I don't care. No, there's a difference between I don't care and non-attached. Yes, so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, you can feel a lot of compassion without clinging to something.
There you go. See, you just said it just in a couple of words. What took me a whole Webster dictionary to articulate, you just, yeah, what she said, everyone. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Jordana, for being here today. I appreciate you again. And thank you for sharing your perspectives. You're just amazing, just prolific, just everything that you. Thanks for being here and showing up and sharing with us.
Thank you.
Again, check out the website at Jordana Winston, right? .com
Yep.
backslash
.com slash forward slash backslash one of the two enlightened.
enlighten.
Easy to remember
And
because
you
of your
spell it
podcast.
Jordana, Jordana. Winston,
And Winston like the
Win.
smoke.
Yes, absolutely. Check out the Enlighten Empowered Evolve website, 333empower.com. Leave comments, subscribe. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate everyone. See you soon. Enlighten Empowered Evolved.